Hello viewers, my name is Kuldeep Singh. Welcome to my YouTube channel Technical Skills. Guys, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel and please do hit the bell icon for latest updates. Hello viewers, if any one of you is interested in taking online or offline training, you can contact me on the number given on screen. You can call me or you can send me a WhatsApp message. Also, you can check my number in description of video. Thank you very much. Hi, welcome again to this new PLC tutorial session. In this session, we will cover some practice examples of TOF Timer. So let's start with example number 4. We have discussed example number 1, 2 and 3 in previous session. So in this session, I will cover with question 4 and question 5. So you can see on screen, this is the question number 4. When start push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. 5 seconds later, output B gets on, and after another 7 seconds, output C gets on. When stop push button is pressed, output C gets off immediately. 5 seconds later, output B gets off, and after another 7 seconds, output A gets off. So this is the mixed question, you can say, with this is the example of timer on and timer off. So when we start the first part, that is when start push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. 5 seconds later, output B gets on. So it means output B gets on after 5 seconds. So there is a delay of on time of 5 seconds between A and B. Similarly, there is a delay of 7 seconds between B and C. So we have to use on timer when we start this answer. So, and after this C gets on. Now next part is when stop push button is pressed. When stop push button is pressed, output C gets off immediately. 5 seconds later, output B gets off, and after another 7 seconds, output A gets off. So there is a delay between C and B and A. So we have to use a TOF timer. So let's start the solution. So we have to start with first part. So when start push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. So I am taking input. So let's name it start. When start push button is pressed, so I am taking a latch with the binary bit. We can take directly A also. So but right now I am taking a binary bit because the output A is getting off after some particular time. Okay, so I am taking it with a binary bit so that we can complete our question. So this is the start push button. When start push button press, output A gets on. So I will take A in separate rung because all outputs are getting off at different time. So I will take A. So this is A. Okay, so this is just the first part. 5 seconds later, output B gets on. So output B is getting on after 5 seconds. So I can take a T on timer over here. T on T4 colon 0, and I can give a delay of 5 seconds. So the output B getting on after. So when there is a after in question, you know we have to use a done bit. So I'm taking done bit. With this done bit, output B is getting on. So this is suppose our output B. So this is our output B. So the first part is when start push button is pressed, output A gets on, and after 5 seconds, output B gets on. And after that is after another 7 seconds, output C gets on. So after another 7 seconds, so I have to use another T on timer. So I am using a T on timer over here again, so that So this is T on timer T4 colon 1. So I am using a T on timer for 7 seconds. So this timer will get on after output B gets on. Okay, and output C will get on after 7 seconds. So I am again taking a done bit. Okay, and I am taking output. So this is output C. Okay, so let's compile and check whether this much is working fine or not. See, when first button pressed, output A gets on, correct. After 5 seconds, output B gets on, correct. And after another 7 seconds, output C gets on. So this much program is correct. Now I have to begin with the second part. Second part is when stop push button is pressed, output C gets off immediately. So here the output C is getting off immediately. Outputs are getting off in reverse order. Output C gets off immediately, then after that output B, and after that output A. So see, I am taking a, suppose I will take a stop push button. Okay, so I am taking a stop push button over here, I1 colon 0.0/1. So this is a stop. Okay, so if I take a stop push button and now I just check this question. See, when start push button pressed, output A gets on. After another 5 seconds, output B gets on. After another 7 seconds, output C gets on. Okay, when I press this stop push button, you can see all outputs gets off. Okay, A, B, C, all outputs gets off. But in this answer also, our this part is correct. When stop push button pressed, output C gets off immediately. So output C is getting off immediately. So this much part we have done. Okay, now what I have to improvise is that output B should get off after 5 seconds of output C. When C gets off, after 5 seconds output B gets off, and after another 7 seconds output A gets off. So that I have to check. So I have to take a TOF timer. Okay, so I will take a TOF timer over here. When output C gets off, this timer gets activated and this will turn off output B after 5 seconds. Okay, so I will taking a timer TOF time, and I'm 5 seconds, and this 5 seconds I am using this timer done bit to run output B, correct. Okay, so now when this C gets off, this timer will start working and this timer will give a supply to output B. Okay, let's check. So when I start pushing pressed, output A gets on. After 5 seconds, output B gets on. After another 7 seconds, you can see output C gets on. As output C gets on, this timer also gets activated. You can see done bit is coming and it is giving supply to output B. When stop push button is pressed, you can see output C doesn't gets off. Why C is not getting off? Because this supply is also, this done is giving supply to B, but also it is giving supply to this timer. So this timer is giving supply to this done bit. With this done bit, output C gets on. So our answer is wrong. So what I have to do is I have to separate this timer from B so that it does not, this done bits does not give supply to this timer. Okay, so what will I do? I will just separate these, do things in 2 rungs. Okay, I will take this done bit and this timer in alag rung, in different rung. I will take this timer in different rung. Okay, sorry, I have to use this here, and I have to use this done bit over here because this done is getting this timer on. Okay, now okay, what happened? Okay, now we can check again. Now we have improvised this much part. Now we can check how our answer is working. When start push button pressed, output A gets on. After 5 seconds, output B gets on. After another 7 seconds, output C gets on. Okay, When stop push button is pressed, you can see C gets off. Okay, see, you can see B gets off after another 5 seconds. Okay, so this part is correct. Now I have to do the same thing with A. So I have to use a TOF timer again. So I will use a TOF timer over here again. Is 7 seconds, and I will use this done bit of this timer to activate this output A. Okay, so I will use here T4:3/DN. So this will activate output A. Okay, let's check the answer. So this is the final answer. When start push button is pressed, output A gets on. After 5 seconds, output B gets on. After another 7 seconds, output C gets on. Okay, now when stop push button is pressed, you can see when stop push button is pressed, output C gets off immediately. After 5 seconds, output B gets off. After another 7 seconds, output A gets off. Okay, so this is the solution for question number 4 or practice example number 4. Let's move to question number 5. When first push button is pressed, outputs A, B gets on after 5 seconds. When second push button is pressed, output A gets off after 3 seconds and output C gets on after 3 seconds. When third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. When stop push button is pressed, all outputs gets off after 6.5 seconds. So you can see the first part belongs to timer T on timer, and second part belongs to T off timer. So let's start the solution. Let's go offline and create a new file. Okay, now so the first part is when first push button is pressed, output A, B gets on after 5 seconds. So it is simple. So I have to make a latch. So this is a first push button. When first push button is pressed, output A and B. Okay, take a binary bit latch, and with this binary bit you can switch on. Sorry, output is getting on after 5 seconds, so I have to use a timer also. T4:0, make it for 5 seconds, and output A and B gets on after 5 seconds, so I have to use a done bit. So this output, two outputs, you have to take two outputs A and B. See, and I can take a parallel output B so that both are getting on simultaneously. So I can name it as B. Oh, okay. So this is the first part. Simple. When second push button is pressed, output A gets off after 3 seconds and output C gets on after 3 seconds. So mainly second push button is getting on output C. Okay. So I can take another run. I can take a latch again. I1 and I can give a name second push button. Okay. I have to take another latch and bit P3:0/1. Similarly, I can take a binary bit. I have to take a timer. Timer is for 3 seconds, so I will take a T on timer over here. So this is a T on T4:1 and it is for 3 seconds, correct? So after 3 seconds, output C gets on, so I have to take a done bit again, T4:1/DN, and I have to take a output, name it as C. Okay, so when second push button is pressed, output C gets on after 3 seconds and output A gets on after 3 seconds. Output A is also getting off, so I will take NC over here, T4 colon 1/dn, because this done bit is getting activated, and so this done bit is getting on this C, and this done bit will stop the supply for output A. So both works are getting done with this done bit. So my second part is also over. When third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. So with this third output, I have to switch on output A immediately. So I am taking another latch, so naming it as a third push button. So I have to take a latch again, binary bit latch B3 colon 0/2. So I have to take this latch B3 colon 0/2, and with this latch I have to switch on this output A. So I will take a parallel path here, because this has stopped the supply, this done bit has stopped the supply or output A. So I have given this alternate path so that it can give supply to output A, and when I push this third push button, this binary bit will get activated, and this binary bit will give supply to output A. So let's check this much part first. So when first push button is pressed, output A and output B gets on after 5 seconds. You can check both are getting on, correct. When second push button is pressed, output C gets on after 3 seconds and output A gets off after 3 seconds, correct. When third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately, that is also correct. So I have completed this T on part. Now I have to do T off part. When stop push button is pressed, all output gets off after 6.5 seconds. So all outputs are getting off after 6.5 seconds. So I have to take a TOF timer. So I am taking it here. You can take it at any latch. You can take it here also parallel to this timer. You can take this here parallel to this timer, or you can take here. Okay. So I am putting it here, TOF timer, T4 colon 2. So I have to take a 6.5 seconds. So for 6.75 seconds, I have to take this 0.01 and 650 as a preset, because you know total time delay is preset into time base. So preset is 650, time base is 0.01. So total time delay will be 6.5 seconds. So after 6.5 seconds, all outputs gets off. So I have to run these outputs extra 6.5 seconds. So what I will do, I will give alternate supply for 6.5 seconds, and it will be with this. You can take a TT also, you can take a done also. Okay, so I am taking a TT, T4 2/TT. So this TT will be activated when stop push button is pressed. T4 colon 0/TT. Okay, now I have to take a stop push button also. Sorry, I have to name as 3 stop. So now we can check the answer. When start push button is pressed, output A and output B gets on after 5 seconds. When stop second push button is pressed, output C gets on after 3 seconds and output A gets off after 3 seconds. When third push button is pressed, you can see when third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately, correct. Now when the stop push button is pressed, sorry, I have done it wrong. I have to use stop in every latch. Okay, sorry. I have to use this stop in every latch. I have used it here. I have to use it here also, because I have to stop all the latch. I have to reset everything. Then only this TOF timer will work. Not an issue. We will check it again. Okay, let's go again. When start push button is pressed, output A and B gets on after 5 seconds. When second push button is pressed, output A gets off and output C gets on after 3 seconds. When third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. Correct? Now when I am pressing this stop push button, you can check, let's, all outputs are visible. Yes, when this stop push button is pressed, you can see this timer is working. Okay, I have used this wrong TT address. Sorry, I have to use address for this TOF timer. So I will use address of this is 2. Okay, I'm making a lot of mistakes in this class. It happens, not an issue. So we'll check it again. When start push button is pressed, output A and B gets on immediately. Correct? When second push button is pressed, output A gets off and output C gets on. When third push button is pressed, output A gets on immediately. Okay. Now when I press this stop push button, now you can see everything stops, but only this TT is giving supply to A, B and C extra for 6.5 seconds. After 6.5 seconds, all outputs gets off and all your question is now reset. You can use it again. If I have not used this stop button, then this timer may be running and this will be giving supply to C and this will not stop. Okay, so to stop I have to use a stop, and I have used this TT bit so that these outputs can run for extra 6.5 seconds. Okay, so this is it for today's class. So keep practicing, keep learning. Thank you very much. Hello viewers, if any one of you is interested in taking online or offline training, you can contact me on the number given on screen. You can call me or you can send me a WhatsApp message. Also you can check my number in description of video. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel. Also hit the bell icon for latest updates. Please give this video thumbs up and do share it with your friends. Also please comment below how do you like this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. I will definitely answer your questions. Thank you very much